The Crown Season 4 brings with it a whole lot of change for Queen Elizabeth II's family and, more importantly, the United Kingdom. From 1979 to 1990, Margaret Thatcher held the office of Prime Minister, making her not only the first woman to do so, but also one of the most controversial figures in British history. The Crown depicts the relationship between Olivia Colman's Queen Elizabeth II and Gillian Anderson's Thatcher as chilly, contentious, and above all else, dramatic. But perhaps nothing is as dramatic in The Crown Season 4 than Gillian Anderson's Margaret Thatcher voice. Gillian Anderson literally transforms herself to play the iconic and infamous politician. Gone is both her non-nonsense X-Files American accent and the purring British lilt she uses in shows like Sex Education. Instead, Anderson has adopted almost a croak to play Thatcher. Her voice is deep, diction precise, and delivery borderline camp. It's a very big choice from the Anglo-American actress, but is it warranted? Did Margaret Thatcher really sound like how she does on The Crown? The answer is actually complicated. While some vintage film reveals a very different sounding Margaret Thatcher, by 1990 she sounded, when riled up, quite similar to Anderson's take. The reason for this is political. Margaret Thatcher created her own signature sound to help her rise to power. A rise detailed in The Crown Season 4 as both admirable and dangerous. Photo: Netflix. Did Margaret Thatcher really sound like Gillian Anderson on The Crown? Yes and no. Overall, it's a pretty on-the-money recreation of Thatcher's voice. And if it sounds super-duper campy to you, that may in fact be the point. Along with her super conservative politics, Thatcher was known in her time for her one-of-a-kind voice. When she started in politics as a young woman, she had a higher-pitched manner of speaking that sounded more feminine, natural, and, to Brits, condescending. Over time her voice deepened, which we'll get to her now iconic tone. If anything, it sounds like Anderson leaned hard to Thatcher's voice in the later years of her run as Prime Minister. Check out one of Thatcher's more infamous speeches, her "No, no, no" speech on the UK joining a proposed European Union, from late 1990 below. How did Margaret Thatcher change the sound of her voice? While there is obvious evidence that Thatcher worked to artificially lower the register of her voice to sound, depending on who you ask, less feminine or even more compassionate, exactly how she did so is up to debate. Conventional wisdom holds that she worked with a professional speech therapist, but the experts, like Paul Hill at Working Voices, refute this. Hill notes that the changes to Thatcher's voice would actually damage her throat muscles. Furthermore, Hill cites writer Anne Carf's reporting that the voice was more likely a construct of Thatcher's, ad exec Tim Bell, her PR man Gordon Rees and her speechwriter Ronald Miller.